Hey everyone, welcome back to my craft room. And if you're new here, thanks for stopping by. If you enjoy the content, remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Today I'm going to be working on part 2 of my vintage ephemera series. I'm going to be working on journal pockets. So sit tight and I'll be right back and we'll get started. Thanks. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to be making journal pockets out of a single 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock, and I'm also going to be making a journal pocket using junk mail envelope. So I have some examples to show you of what I did, and I got the idea for the 12 by 12 sheet from Camelia Crafts Designs. And so I'll post a link to her channel in the description box below. But basically what I did was I tried to do the pockets using a book page like she did, but I didn't have a book page that was large enough. So what I decided to do was use whatever book page I had, and this is the pocket that I wound up making. The page size was 12 by 9, and I'll put these numbers in the description box below as well. But the book page size was 12 by 9. And I cut 3 by 5 index cards to 2 3/4 by 4 so that they would fit in here. And I just used the small pre-bought tags, and I collaged them and put them in the pockets. So I have 2 tags in here. Here's the other tag, which I just decorated. And then these are the journal cards. So this one I used a band of ribbon to just tuck these in there. And then the back sides I left blank for journaling. I attached a piece of the same ribbon on top with some Fabri-Tac glue, and then I just put a little tiny attacher staple just to give it some character. And then I also did another pocket card that had a pocket. So this is the card I made. This brown piece of paper here was just from a package that I received. So I saved the packaging paper, and I've been tearing it up and using it in these journal projects. And so this one came out cute. It's a little bit smaller than I had anticipated. But I didn't have a book page that was large enough. I'm going to have to figure out how to rip the binding off the large books that I picked up, and without tearing the pages, so that I'll have larger pages. So this was nice. I like the feel of it. It doesn't feel too bulky. And so this is a smaller one that I made. And then I took a 12 by 12 piece of paper, cardstock, and I cut it down to 11.5. So 12 by 11.5. And then I trimmed the 3-inch side of a 3 by 5 index card to 2 3/4. And again, I'll put these numbers in the description box down below. And then I made the same exact pocket, but you can see the difference in size. So this was, I think it was 12 by 9 piece of paper versus a 12 by 12 piece of paper. And you could see they're the same width, but it's just the height that changed. So again, this one has 2 tags. I made this one with a pocket. I fussy cut these roses, and I collaged the background, and then I was able to use that as a pocket. And then I attached a piece of ribbon the journal card. I just collaged and then decorated. And again, I attached a piece of ribbon as a tab on top to make it easier to pull the card out. And then here's the other tag that I made here. Very simple. This one I decorated both sides of. On the smaller one, I only decorated one side. Let me see. Did I do both sides on this tag? I'm not sure. Yes, I did. So that's the other side. And then I have the two cards. So, and the back is blank for journaling or notes or whatever. And then this one I made with a pocket. I collaged it, and then I added the pocket, a couple of ephemera pieces, a little flower, and then again I made a pocket and I put in a little picture from a Tim Holtz ephemera kit and a little map in the pocket. And so this is really super easy to make. What was time consuming about it was that I didn't have any of these inside pieces available because I don't have a stash. So I pretty much spent like half of a day making tags and journal cards before I even got to begin videotaping. And then this is the other pocket that I'm going to make, and this was just a junk mail envelope, which I collaged. I folded it in half, basically, collaged it. And this was, again, it was a 7 1/4 by 5 1/4 envelope. And then the cards that are inside are 3 1/8 wide by 4 3/4 high. I'll put those numbers in the description box below. And then on the inside, I kept it really simple. And I cut notches in so that you could access the cards. And again, I added the pieces of ribbon as a tab so you could pull them out easily. And I kept the cards very simple and just left them blank for journaling, and the inside as well. The only thing I did on the inside was add these strips of washi. And then on these cards, I bought this paper at Joann's, and it was really thin. So I did, I backed up 2 pieces and glued them together to give it a little bit of thickness, because otherwise they were kind of hard to get in and out without like bending them. So that's just something that I did. And we'll be making one of these. Okay, so let's get started with the actual making. So here, this is the 12 by 12 piece of cardstock that I'm going to use. And it's one-sided. I didn't have anything that was double-sided. And so when you're going to make the card, whatever is in this quadrant here is what's going to wind up being your front page. So when you pick a piece of paper, make sure that whatever is in this quadrant is something that you like, because that's what's going to be on your front. So from here, since I have to trim it down to 11 1/2, I'm going to trim the 1/2 inch off this bottom section because I want to keep what's up here. So let's go ahead and do that. And then you want to trim the 1/2 inch off the side that's going to, when the part that you trim off is going to affect the height, not the width. So you still want to keep your 12 for the width, but the 1/2 inch you take off is going to impact the height of your final product. So I'm just going to take off 1/2 inch, make this 11 1/2. So we're going to put that there. All right. And I'm going to take off that 1/2 inch. And I just found that the 11 1/2 was decent. When it was 12 by 12, I don't know, it just looked weird. And then the journal card was really thin and long. So by just taking off a 1/2 inch, I was able to keep the size of the journaling card to a decent length. And then here, I'm just going to go ahead and score at 3 inches. I'm going to score at 6 inches. And I'm going to score at 9. And I'm just scoring lightly because this is a pretty thin piece of cardstock. The one that I used for the sample was pretty thick. And so that's what made it so bulky. So I found the thinnest cardstock that I could find. And that's what I'm using. So again, this is going to be your front cover. So keep that in mind. What you're going to do is flip it over. You're going to fold it in half. And if it doesn't line up perfectly, you could always, you know, trim it afterwards just to get it even. So I'm folding it in half, and then I'm just going to use my bone folder to put a nice crease in it. Then I'm going to bring this half into the score line, which I can barely see. So let me just kind of give this a fold just so I can see the score line. All right, so I'm going to bring this in, but I'm not going to bring it all the way to the score line. I'm going to leave maybe about 1/8 of an inch in between so that when I close it, it won't impact the closing of it. And I'm going to line up this bottom edge. If the top edge is a little off, that's okay because we can trim it. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a nice crease. And then you can't really see it, but I left like 1/8 of an inch there. And then I'm going to fold this in. And I'm a little late to the game on this, so you've probably seen this before. But this whole journaling process is new to me. So I was pretty impressed by how you can take one page and wind up with 4 pockets. And then you're going to, let me just show you. When you close it, remember that quadrant that I was telling you about? That wound up being my front cover. So anyway, we open it up and we're going to take this part and we're going to fold it down. Uh-oh, just lost power. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Power was out for about 10 minutes. So here I am again. And just a reminder, we had taken the paper, which was 12 by 11.5. We folded it over in half. Then we folded one side in about 1/8 of an inch shy of the center fold. Did the same over here. The cover was that quadrant that I showed you when I first pulled out the piece of paper. And this doesn't appear to be lined up properly, so I'm just gonna give it a score to try to get that aligned. And then you can see this is not properly aligned. Later, what I can do is just trim that off to align everything. Actually, I should do that now before I start folding in the inner corners. So just bear with me. Let me see if I can do the whole thickness of it so I can get it how I want it. So I'm just going to chop off that little top edge. Make sure the bottoms are aligned. And I'm just going to cut off that little top edge. Oh, that's not working out. Let me cut it a little bit more. Okay. So there, now that's better. Let me put this back on the side. So now we're going to fold in the front, the first flap. We're going to fold it in over. And then we're going to do the same over here. We're just going to fold it over. Flatten that out. We're going to take the other piece and we're going to fold that over, leaving a border. try to get the border the same on each side. So you're gonna get that. And then if you had a page that was decorated on both sides, then you would have some sort of decoration here. But I actually don't mind the white since this was only a one-sided page. So that works for me. Try to get these as even as possible so you'll have the same border on both sides. I think I may have gone a little bit too short on this side. Let me see if I could fix that. Yeah, that's fine. Then you're going to take this and open it up and take the first flap and bend it over and glue it down so that when you start putting things in the pockets, these flaps won't interfere. So you're just going to put a little bit of glue and glue that down. You're going to want that out of your way, and then you're going to do the same thing over here. Just put a little bit of glue, and on this side fold that down, and then you're going to maybe open it up again and take this flap, fold it over, and glue that down as well. So you're going to glue this, glue that, and glue that down. All right, so then we're just going to fold it back up. So fold it this way and fold it this way, and now those flaps are contained on the insides of the pockets, and they're not gonna like be pulled out every time you slide something inside the pocket. So then the only other gluing that you're gonna have to do, this is really simple. Just put some glue down at the bottom over here, because you want to leave this open as a pocket. So just put a thin line of glue. And fold it over on itself. And that's it. You're done. The only other thing you would have to do, if you wanted to, was embellish it. So, you know, you could, just to keep, you could embellish it any way you want, you know, just to keep within the same style as everything else that I made, because it's all eventually going to go on the same journal. I'm just going to maybe put some similar elements, and I pre-made tags for this. So I pre-made some tags. So these are the two tags that I'm putting in, and again I put in a little picture which I distressed with some oxide ink, and then I put in like a little classified news clip, which was some of the stickers that I hauled from Temu. And then on this one, I put in one of the little quote cards that I hauled, and I just backed it with some of that packaging paper, distressed it, and put in a label from, again, from the Temu haul that I made. And I just collaged the tags and made pockets and added embellishments. And then the backs of these I left blank for journaling. So these we could just put right in here. This is where these are going to fall in line. And then I also pre-made some journaling cards for this particular make. And these are going to go right in the back pocket. And again, I just collaged them. Added the tab with ribbon, Fabri-Tac, and some little tiny attacher staples. I don't know if you can see that. Added the number, layered a few pieces, added the butterfly in the back. I just distressed. So these would go in the back pockets, and they fit nicely in there. But before I stuff everything in there, the only other step that you have to do with this, if you want to, is to go ahead and distress the edges. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to start with the back spine, and I'm just going to give it a little bit of distressing. So I've never distressed so much in my entire life. My fingertips on my left hand were all full of yellow ink. It looked like I was a chain smoker. I had yellow fingers. It was so funny. But anyway, so I'm gonna distress all the sides of this, all the edges. Did that. Okay, let's do this side. And we're gonna open it up. Let's distress the bottom. I mean, this is really so simple and so cute. And this thinner paper is so much more, the thickness of it, it's so much less bulky than the thick paper that I used for the first attempt. So I would recommend to use, you know, as thin a paper as you can, especially since you're going to put it in a journal. And maybe I should have gone ahead and distressed these edges before I taped everything down, glued everything down. But since it's going to go in a journal, you want as little bulk as possible, you know? So that's this. Yeah, I like the way this one turned out. It doesn't feel as thick and bulky as the first one I made. And the one that I made with the book page, the smaller version of this, I also like the weight of that one. And then I'm going to do this inner spine as well. Hold on, let me just put a little bit of glue here because it's coming up. Anyway, so this is what it looks like open. And then we're going to put the, go ahead and put the tags and the journal cards inside. And again, like I said, I was thinking that I was going to videotape this all in one day, but then I realized, you know what? I don't have any of these elements ready. So, important lesson learned for me was that you do have to have a stash of these things. So one day I'm just going to sit down and create as many journal cards and tags as I can if I'm going to continue on this journal process, you know, this journal journey, I should say. So then, just to keep it like similar to what I did with the other ones, let me see if I can find the same ephemera pack that I used. I think it was this one. And we'll go ahead and add some embellishment to this. Hold on, let me cover my glue. So I want a number, first of all, first and foremost. Everything I did pretty much has a number. And I think I ran out of butterflies and flowers from this pack. You know, I want to put something with a little bit of color since it's all black and white and tan. So maybe How about this pink? What do you think? Yeah, I think I'll do that. And I'll put it on top because, oops, it has the this number down at the bottom. And this paper's pretty, so I don't really want to embellish it too much, you know? So I'm just going to put that up in the corner, and it'll pick up the pink in the ribbon. Maybe we'll do something on the inside, another number. This one has a little bit of like a reddish. I'll just put it right here. I'm not going to embellish it too much. I just want to go through the process with you guys. Let me look at another pack to see if I find some sort of flower or oh, look, here goes flowers right here. But that might be a little bit much. Maybe not. So I'll hold that on the side. What I really want is a butterfly. And then if you put something down and you glue it and then you don't like it, what I did, especially, where was it? Where? On one of these where I did a layer of stuff. It was because I put something down that I then hated. Where did I do that? I'm sorry to kind of go off on a tangent here. But I did something where I really didn't like the outcome. And so I just peeled it off and put some, it tore the paper a little bit, but then I just put another embellishment that was slightly larger and it covered it, you know? Oh, well, maybe it was some other project that I didn't. Oh, this was a little pocket too. I forgot to show you that. So this little letter was in it. I made that with a piece of cardstock and a piece of ribbon. And then I put in this tiny little letter right in there. All right, so we got a number. This flower is a maybe. I don't know, we'll see. But if I can find the butterfly, that's what I would really prefer. So, and then again, if you use a paper that you really like, there's no reason for you to embellish it at all, you know? But I think this could use a little something because it's, you know, the color. Look at that butterfly. I like that. Bring a pop of color. Do I want it in here or do I want it in on the front? I think I'll put it here on the front. Because it has this big white gap right here, so I'll just add this butterfly right there. The only thing I didn't do, I forgot to distress these pieces. But then I had these tiny little foam applicators that I picked up at one of the Hobby Lobby hauls, and I've just kind of been using them as a backup. And you could get a little bit of distress on it this way. It's a little bit too much, but it all works. It's a grunge journal. So let's try to grunge this up a bit. Yeah. So that's that pocket. Let me see if there's anything else we want to put on it. Maybe something small. You know what? No, I'm going to leave that just like that. So then, let me put these flowers away. Put that in here somewhere and add some color. And maybe I'll put that right down there just to bring a little bit of color to the inside. That's that. And I like that, you know, there are some of the same elements in all of these pieces because some of them are likely going to go in the same journal. So they'll all have a flow, you know. So that's that. So now I've got 1, 2, 3 of these pockets, 2 of the same size. Well, actually, this one is a little bit longer, a little bit taller. I wonder if I wrote the wrong... Yeah, I think I had probably done this 12 by 11 instead of by 11.5. So anyway, I'll put those measurements correctly in the system, but it doesn't look bad. And the bulk, the difference between this thinner one-sided paper versus this thicker one, you can even see that this one just closes a lot, you know, I don't know if you can tell. But look at how thin this one closes compared to this one, which is a lot bulkier. So I like this. So very simple, easy to do. If you have any questions, just, you know, ask me in the comments and I'll get back to you with whatever information you need. So that's that. So I hope you enjoyed this pocket making video. In the end, though, I decided to split it into 2 videos. This one will be the 12 by 12 pockets, and then I split the junk mail envelope pockets into its own separate video because combined the video was over an hour and 20 minutes long, and that's a lot of time to ask, you know, for you to sit down and watch. So I split it into 2 videos, and I'll be posting the second video maybe a day apart from the first one to give you guys a chance to watch video number 1 and then catch up on video number 2. And then I've got a bit of exciting news to share with you guys. When I first launched my channel, maybe 4.5 months ago, I was looking for something to do, something creative, and it was just supposed to be this fun thing. But I've reached the first milestone for monetization. I have over 4,000 watch hours. And now that monetization is a possibility, it's like exciting, and it's a goal now. I have to make it there. And so the only obstacle now is the number of subscribers that I have. And I'm up to about 435. So if you watch my videos and you enjoy the content, please consider subscribing. Get me to that 1,000 mark. In the past 28 days, I've gotten over 178 subscribers. So that in itself is amazing. Thank you all so much for supporting my channel. I'll keep you posted. And when we make that maybe $500 500 subscriber, not dollar, milestone, I'll probably do a giveaway, and then we'll do another giveaway at 1,000. So thank you all again for supporting my channel, and I look forward to you guys dropping by on my next video. Thanks.